Tonight's transmission concerns loneliness. Human beings have never been more connected than they are today. Billions of people communicate instantly. Messages cross oceans in seconds, photographs travel around the world almost immediately. Voices can reach people thousands of kilometers away. Human history has never seen anything like this before. For thousands of years, people lived in small groups, families, villages, communities. Human connection depended on physical presence. If someone disappeared, distance often meant silence. If someone lived far away, communication could take weeks, months, sometimes years. Today, distance almost no longer exists, and yet something strange happened. The world became more connected, but people did not necessarily become less alone. Studies and reports repeatedly suggest increasing feelings of loneliness across many age groups. Millions of people spend hours every day interacting with screens, scrolling, watching, liking, replying, reacting, constant activity, constant connection, constant signals. But signals are not always the same as presence, because human beings were never designed only to exchange information. Human beings were designed to experience people, to sit near them, to hear voices, to see expressions, to feel closeness. Technology solved many problems. It removed distance, it removed waiting, it removed barriers. But perhaps it accidentally created something else, because connection became available everywhere. And when something becomes available everywhere, sometimes it slowly begins losing value. Years ago, silence felt normal. Today, silence often feels uncomfortable. Years ago, people waited alone. Today, many people immediately reach for devices. Moments that once belonged to thoughts became filled with notifications. Moments that once belonged to conversations became filled with scrolling. And over time, people adapted, quietly, without realizing it. But perhaps the most unusual change is happening quietly. Not inside devices, not inside applications, inside people. Because human beings slowly adapt to environments around them, and environments eventually begin shaping behavior. Years ago, people often experienced boredom. Long moments with nothing happening. Long drives, waiting rooms, silent evenings. Moments where thoughts moved freely. Moments where minds wandered naturally. Today, those moments rarely stay empty for long. A screen appears, a notification appears, a message appears. Something always arrives. Something always competes for attention. And perhaps constant stimulation creates something unexpected. Because when minds become accustomed to constant activity, stillness begins feeling strange. Silence begins feeling uncomfortable. And being alone with thoughts begins feeling difficult. Not because human beings became weaker, but because human behavior slowly adapted to a world that never stopped speaking. The strange part is not technology itself. Technology is only a tool. The strange part is that human beings can be surrounded by millions of people and still feel invisible. Because loneliness was never simply about being alone. Loneliness is the feeling of not being understood, not being seen, not being felt. Maybe the future will connect every human being on Earth. Maybe communication becomes instant. Maybe artificial intelligence becomes a companion. Maybe distance completely disappears. But perhaps one uncomfortable question remains. What happens if connection continues increasing, while real human closeness slowly disappears? Because perhaps the most connected generation in human history also becomes the loneliest. Transmission complete. Static observer signing off.